Namaste, and thank you for joining me. We'll start by sitting with our legs crossed, knees lower than the hips, hands in front of the heart, closing your eyes and feeling yourself lengthening up through the crown, relaxing into the shoulders as you start to place the hands in front of the chest, drawing the breath into the back of your body, feeling the breath rising and expanding into the upper body, and as you exhale, releasing. Feel the opening, expanding around the center of the chest. Feel into the rhythm. Noticing how the breath might be feeling long and soft, expanding through the side body and the front body. And then rubbing the palms of the hands together and placing the hands on both sides of the side body, just where the lower ribs are, and starting to invite the breath into the right side of the body, into the right ribs, underneath the right armpit, into the whole right lung. Feeling yourself expanding, creating space and light. And then starting to breathe into the left side, into the left lung. Feeling the ribs expanding, creating space under the armpit. Might be feeling slightly different here. And then slowly placing the hands down onto your knees. Take a deep breath in. And a slow, long breath out. And feel and sense the breath. And then slowly exhale, bringing the chin down towards your chest and gently roll into a beautiful, juicy head roll. Inhaling as the head lifts and exhaling as it gently lowers. Please adjust this pose to make sure you do feel comfortable within the space of the neck and the shoulders. Using the weight of the head to gently roll away any tension, any worries you might be holding on to. Allowing the rest of the body to feel, inhaling, going the opposite direction. Keeping your focus on each breath. Inhale and exhale. And then as the head comes down to the chest, giving yourself a nice little wiggle, breathe here for a moment. And then slowly inhale, lifting the arms up above the head, interlocking the fingers above the head. And starting to invite the shoulders into that rotation. Keeping your elbows soft, and as well as you're relaxing into your shoulders. Opening up through the chest. Feeling into the shoulder blades and the shoulders. And noticing the movement all the way down into the ribs. Inhale, lifting the arms up, and exhaling, going the opposite direction. Be free within the neck and the shoulders. Inhale, lifting up, stretching all the way up, lift up through the crown of the head, wiggling into those side ribs. Exhale, releasing the hands down onto the knees. Take a moment to tune into the breath and the feelings within the body. then slowly rolling the shoulders around, drawing the shoulders up to the ears and rolling them back down, and giving yourself a wiggle. And then slowly start to inhale, reaching all the way up, holding onto the left wrist, leaning over to your right side. Allow the right ear to drop down into the right upper arm, stretching into that left shoulder blade, lengthening through the left side. Inhale, lifting up, releasing the hands, bringing them back down. Observe, breathe. Inhale, lifting up, this time holding onto your right wrist, leaning over to the left side. Stretching all the way down into the right side, underneath the right armpit. To the right shoulder blade, lifting up, and exhale, release. Inhale, lifting up, going into a lovely side bend, bending over to your right side, lengthening through the left side. Inhale, lifting up and going over to your left side, lengthening through your right side. Inhale, lifting your arms up, then gently releasing. Inhale and exhale, twisting to your left, looking over to your left shoulder, being aware of the head being nice and long, twisting from the waist, the ribs, as well as rolling that left shoulder back. Inhale, lifting up, and exhaling, twisting towards your right side. Allow the breath to lift up through the body. Lengthen through the spine. Inhale, coming back to the center, releasing the hands back down onto your knees. Take a moment to observe and bring your chin down towards your chest, arching into the nice cat pose. Belly towards the spine, grounding your tailbone down to the earth, chin to your chest. Inhale, lifting up, open the chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhaling back down into the stretch of the cat. Inhale, opening up, arching back. Exhaling, folding forward. Yes, stretching through the back. Inhale and exhale, coming back to the center. And then slowly making your way down onto the floor, laying down in Shavasana. Or laying down into constructive rest, where I always like to come down for a moment, flattening into my back, and then bringing my right foot up and starting to rotate into my right ankle. Flaring the toes. Feeling the movement all the way down into my right leg. And then going the opposite direction, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Feeling the connection to your breath as you start to bend into your right knee, lengthen through your left leg, flexing the toes up to the ceiling, bringing the nose to the knee towards the nose. Feeling yourself pressing the right thigh towards your body as you bring the knee towards your nose, the nose towards your knee. And slowly bring both of the feet back down to the floor, bend to the knees. Take a moment to observe the feelings and the sensations in the body. And starting to lift up your left foot and starting to rotate into your left ankle, flaring the toes. Keeping the face nice and relaxed and soft. Feeling the sensations down through the legs. Then starting to interlock the fingers around your left shin, lengthen through your right leg. Flex the toes, take a deep breath in, bring the nose up to the knee and the knee towards the nose, and relax the head and the shoulders to the floor. Keep going with your breath. Keep anchoring down as much as you can down through the right leg. And then starting to bend both of the knees, bring the feet to the floor, hands to your thighs. Take a moment to breathe. Feel into the spine, breathing, releasing. And now starting to bring your outside of your right foot onto your left thigh. Bring the left foot off the floor. And just making sure your knees are feeling comfortable and starting to bring the right hand down in between the legs, interlock the fingers behind the left thigh. Relaxing into your shoulders. Starting to invite the mind down into the breath, into the body. And feeling that stretch all the way into that right thigh, the right hip, right buttock. Breathing, feeling into the sensations of this pose. Releasing any tension. And now starting to bring that left foot back down to the floor and starting to slide the right foot a little bit more towards the body. Placing your right hand onto your right knee and drawing the right knee away from the body. Being aware of the knee, the ankle. Don't push too hard, just feel and sense the gentle stretch. And then starting to draw the right knee towards the body, breathing again into any tension you might be holding on to. And then slowly bringing the right foot back down to the floor. Release the hands. Observe the feelings down into the right hip, the right buttock. And now this time bringing the outside of the left foot up onto your right thigh. Starting to lift your right foot off the floor, interlocking the fingers behind your right thigh. Relaxing into your shoulders. Keeping the legs slightly activated. Feeling that stretch all the way down into that left hip, the left buttock. Remembering where the hand goes, the mind goes, so if you need to gently rub, just to bring your awareness there. Continue breathing and being within that space of the body. And then slowly starting to bring the right foot back down onto the floor, sliding that left foot a little bit more closer towards the body and placing that left hand onto the left knee, pushing it gently away. It doesn't have to be a strong stretch, just gently moving the fluids around into the hip. And then drawing the left knee towards the body, hug into the leg. Being aware of the knees, they're not overstretching. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out as you bring the foot back to the floor, releasing the hands. Observe and feel. Extending the arms out to the side and go down into a nice little twist. Bringing the knees over to the right side as your right hand rests onto that left outer leg, extending the left arm, looking over to the left shoulder, breathing into the whole spine. With each outgoing breath, feeling yourself melting away and then lifting the legs up and going over to the opposite side. Feeling any difference to how this side feels. Breathing into the whole spine, releasing any tension. Inhale, lifting both of the knees up, resting there for a moment. feeling into the spine. Now gently rolling all the way over onto your bellies. Adjusting your position to make sure you feel comfortable. And we're going to start to extend the right arm underneath the right ear, bending into your left knee, and extend and walk the right leg out as you bend the right knee, reaching up with your right hand and holding on to the right foot. This gives you a beautiful, lovely, juicy thigh stretch. Also, I find this pose is very relaxing. Just making sure the knee that is bent, the foot is relaxed, scan down through the body, relaxing any areas that you might be holding on to. Consciously softening. Breathing into your right thigh and breathing into your left thigh. Feeling, sensing, and relaxing. And then slowly releasing the foot, walking that back foot back in line to your midline, releasing the bent leg back down onto the floor. Bring the toes together, heels drop out to the side, wiggling into your pelvis and your hands underneath your forehead. Feeling into the back. And then starting to extend the opposite arm along the floor. Bending into the opposite knee, rolling over to the other side, walking the opposite leg out and reaching all the way up with your left hand and holding on to your right foot. Resting your right ear onto your right upper arm. Making sure that that left foot that's bent in front of you, that's nice and relaxed, scanning down through the body. Noticing that feeling of maybe rolling that left shoulder back as you're holding on to the foot. Noticing how this side feels. And breathing. And then gently releasing. Walking that foot back to your midline. Releasing the opposite foot back down. And resting the forehead down onto the hands. Giving the pelvis a nice little move around. Relaxing into your thighs. Now starting to extend the arms out into a nice V. Separate the feet a little bit further apart as you press the tops of the feet into the floor. Inhale, lifting up into a beautiful seal pose. Exhale, sliding the hands back down. Lengthening up through the spine as you inhale, lifting up, feeling the kidneys behind the back ribs, lifting within that extending backward bend. Rising the kidneys up and exhale, softly back down. Pressing into the legs, the feet, keeping the head connected to the spine, lifting up through the kidneys, opening up through the chest, breathing into the lungs, and slowly exhale, releasing back down. Hands beside the shoulders, feet together. Lifting yourself up and resting into the pose of the child. Knees slightly apart. Bringing the forehead to the floor, drawing the buttocks down to your heels. And then slowly walking the arms a little bit closer towards the head as you bend your elbows and bring the tops of the hands to the ribs, to the upper body, between the shoulder blades, breathing into your upper back. And now slowly coming all the way over onto your cat pose. Hands under your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and exhale into downward facing dog. Starting to gently walk into the dog for a moment. Bending one knee at a time. Make this your own pose. moving in any way that feels comfortable for you. Stretching out through the backs of the legs. Then take a deep breath in, bring your right foot up in between the hands. Pressing the right thigh towards your body, lengthen through the neck. Opening up through the chest, relaxing into the space. Then slowly turning the back toe under and stepping back into downward facing dog and stepping forward with your left foot. Breathing, lengthening through the spine, opening up through the chest. Then turning back, toes under, stepping back into downward facing dog and resting back into the pose of the child. And slowly coming all the way over into a sitting position. We'll be practicing pranayama. So if you need a blanket or a bolster, just making sure you do feel comfortable. I always like to have a rolled up blanket underneath my buttocks to keep my hips a bit higher than my knees. You can sit on a chair or a bolster, resting the hands for a moment on the knees as you bring your awareness to the front body. How the shoulders are feeling, and starting to gently slide your hands towards the left underneath the shoulder blades, underneath the collarbones, and just giving them a nice little rub. You'll find a nice little tender spot there, and giving it a nice little tap. And then going over to your right side, finding that spot once again, giving it a nice little rub, breathing, and giving it a tap. Just working with the nervous system here, and then starting to tap the front of the chest with the fingers, breathing in, breathing out. And releasing your hands back down to your knees, feeling into the sensations of the body, the sensations of the breath, rising and falling. Finding in your center and the rhythm of your breath. Keeping your spine nice and tall, grounding down into your sitting bones. Then starting to bring your two fingers to your eyebrow center, blocking off your right nostril. Breathing in through the left nostril. And then breathing out through your right nostril. Breathing in through your right nostril. And breathing out through your left nostril. Making one complete round. Keep practicing Nadi Shodham, the alternate nostril breathing, at your own pace. Feeling the breath long and smooth as you're breathing in, and long and silky as you breathe out. Starting to mentally count if you haven't already started. Being aware of every breath. Flowing in and flowing out. Relaxing, calming. Finding that stillness within. And releasing the hands when you've finished this round. Take your awareness to your eyebrow center. Placing your hands in prayer. Namaste. Rubbing the hands. And then starting to come down all the way onto the floor. We're going to finish off this practice with a beautiful, juicy, delicious restorative pose. You'll need 3 blankets and a bolster. So placing a bolster down to rest your knees, and then really roll a nice little blanket up for your ankles to rest on. The other 2 blankets you'll need is you'll create a nice 3-fold. So opening up the blanket, you'll make a little fold, and then you'll double the fold over. So you've got 3 folds. Have the ribbon towards your bolster, and then in the other blanket, you do exactly as you did the first blanket. You do a nice 3-fold, keeping the ribbons close to your bolster. And then towards the bolster, make a hand. And that position there is going to create a beautiful arch for your back and a nice little arch for the head. So fold your blanket above. Ooh, coming down, resting the buttocks onto the floor. Resting your ankles over the folded blanket as a nice little tube, and make sure you get your hand towel or an eye bag because the light's quite strong, so it's nice to shut the eyes off with a nice little covering. Rolling yourself down, just making sure you make any little adjustments to feel maybe an extra 10% more comfortable. Placing your eye bag over your eyes or a hand towel. Extend the arms out to the sides so your underarms can breathe into the side ribs. Making any little adjustments. Takes a little while to make sure you feel cozy. And perfectly in line, your right side and your left side is nicely even balanced. And starting to feel yourself gently settling. And this practice is a beautiful restorative pranayama practice where we're going to start to encourage the breath to flow up through the spine, all the way up into the shoulder blades. Maybe placing the hands on the chest, and as you're doing that, you might feel the chest and the breastbone slowly opening, extending, and slowly softening. Releasing the hands. Continue inviting the breath all the way up into your upper back, expanding out to the side ribs, opening up through the center of the chest. And exhale, feeling the center of the chest relaxing, the side ribs relaxing, and the upper back melting. Try not to breathe so much into the belly, into the diaphragm, more inviting it all the way up into the back lungs, the 60% of our lungs are. And noticing what you discover within this space. Breathing into the upper back, the side ribs, the center of the chest. And exhale, releasing, relaxing. Continue following each breath. Noticing how each breath is slightly different. Keeping your full focus on each breath. Opening and expanding, and releasing and letting go. Staying in this pose for 5 minutes is a beautiful pose to restore, come into your stillness and your silence. And noticing how you're feeling. If you want to stay longer, you can stay longer. And being aware of your surroundings, the sounds around you. Coming back into your natural breath. You might feel the need to breathe back up into the upper body, which is perfectly fine too. Enjoy that feeling of the breath expanding through the whole ribs, and then starting to move into your fingers. Draw the knees up towards the ceiling, flattening into your lower back, and then starting to gently bend one knee at a time, bringing the foot to the bolster. And very slowly rolling over to the side of your choice. Taking your time, don't rush, as you roll all the way over, and resting the head onto the lower arm. Noticing how you're feeling, what you can sense, and the sensations throughout the body. And very slowly using that top arm to gently lift yourself up to come into a sitting position. In this pose you can use a blanket or even just the corner of your bolster. Relaxing down into the knees, the hands in front of the heart space. Honoring your body and also being grateful for our bodies that we have. Breathing into the lungs, expanding and closing, relaxing, and feeling that stillness within. Hands to the eyebrow center, and bring in positive thoughts. May you leave with positive thoughts, happy thoughts. Bringing your hands down to your lips. May you leave with kind words. Bringing the hands down onto the chest. And feeling into the vibrations of the heart, the beating of the heart, and the expansion of the breath. And feeling that love and compassion for yourself. Time to nurture your body. Hands back down to your knees. Take a deep breath in. And gently resting, settling your body. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your lovely day. Bye.